Have you ever noticed that for most Google searches that you make, YouTube videos often appear in the top 10 results? This is because YouTube is owned by Google, and they favor their own family of websites first. But what does this mean for you? Well, if you're not uploading videos and marketing on YouTube, then you're missing out on a giant pool of traffic. YouTube is the second highest ranked social network, and it doubles as a search engine of sorts. Furthermore, it's estimated that almost 5 billion videos are watched daily on the platform. With all of those facts in mind, and all of the simple resources for creating videos, you need to be marketing on YouTube. That's why right now you can gain access on the YouTube Traffic Weapon training course for no cost at all. This course details exactly what you need to do to create high-converting videos, upload them to YouTube, and drive loads of targeted traffic on autopilot. That way, you can get started on the right foot and achieve massive marketing success on YouTube without wasting any of your time. All you have to do is take action right now. Just click the button below to gain instant access.
The essential YouTube traffic weapon. YouTube traffic weapon. Let me ask you something. Are you using YouTube as a marketing strategy for traffic generation in your business? Quite simply, YouTube is by far one of the most powerful and still underutilized platforms on the internet when it comes to online marketing. Notably, YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the net. As such, it's also the best platform for engaging in the act of video marketing, which, if you didn't know, is one of the most powerful tools for the persuasion of audiences for generating clicks and conversions. Consider the impact that video has on you in your own day-to-day life. Think about the placement of television sets in your world and how they're often a centerpiece of most living areas. How often have you started watching a TV show or documentary far too late in the evening and ended up staying up way past your bedtime just to get your fill of the action? YouTube also offers countless advantages towards social media marketing. For starters, it gives you the power to build a following that you can continuously market to in the future. It also allows you to leverage your connections through influential marketing and other strategies. This greatly differs from Facebook and Twitter, where there's a large element of luck involved. Acquiring marketing success on YouTube is all about having something interesting to say and then a unique way to deliver that message. If you have met this criteria and you've figured out how to package it, then YouTube can deliver you almost guaranteed continual success. The only downside? YouTube's success involves a little more work than some of the other strategies you might have tried in the past. With this ebook, then, you'll have your blueprint for success. As long as you are willing to execute the steps herein, you will be able to build a huge following and influence them as with no other strategy. Creating a YouTube marketing plan. In this section, we're going to cover how you're going to use YouTube and what your marketing plan will be for success. There's a number of factors to consider here, and of course, the overall nature of your marketing plan is going to depend on the type of business or company that you're running, your goals, and so on. Additionally, your budget, resources, and other elements will also have an impact on the direction that you need to take when building your audience on YouTube and acquiring traffic and views. Regardless of the nature of your YouTube marketing strategy, you obviously need to start somewhere. So that's exactly what this course is going to help you do. For starters, if you're using YouTube video marketing to promote an existing business, then monetization isn't an issue for you. If you're new to the digital marketing, then you need to determine how you're going to benefit from the viewers and traffic that your videos get. Will you be promoting your website or products in the descriptions? Are you running advertisement-based videos for your products or for others? Will you be using YouTube ads to monetize the traffic that views your videos? Do you plan to interact on YouTube and have a presence there? Another part of your plan would be to determine how you're going to scale up your success of videos that attract larger audiences. It's especially helpful to have a good strategy in mind here. So ask yourself about how you're going to get your first 100 views, and then ask yourself how you'll grow that first 1,000 subscribers or followers. More importantly, consider the types of topics, products, or content that you're going to present in your videos. Are the topics going to be easy to rank for? Are they attracting enough of an audience to be worth your time? Is there a platform or network that you can cross-promote your videos and media on for increased visibility and potential? For these factors, it can be useful to perform some market research and even keyword research by looking at your competition and even doing the traditional methods for digging and seeing the overall potential. Consider if there are other YouTube creators or channels that are making money from the platform in your same niche doing what you do. How successful have they been? Is there more opportunity for you to capitalize on that traffic? What niche or niches are the creators working in? How are they marketing their brand? Do they have their own products, or how do they monetize their network? Take note that there's nothing wrong with borrowing a business model that's currently working and producing results. If there's a popular YouTuber out there in your niche that's making money from ebook sales or other sales like that, then make it a point to pay close attention to what they're doing. Even better, take a look at their older videos and see how they've gradually built their audience and network to the point that it's at now. Once you have your business model and plan in mind, you should begin to plot all of this out on a sheet of paper or an online resource for planning. This will give an actionable blueprint that you can follow. Make decisions here, such as how many videos you will need to upload to reach your target audience. Think about what the topic of each of your videos will be, and then go so far as to plot your trajectory over time. The more details you can make your step-by-step process for marketing on YouTube, the easier it will be to stay motivated and achieve results and success. Also remember that when you create this type of business plan, you should use estimates and projections that aren't overly optimistic. Make sure that your plan will work in a worst-case scenario and don't put unnecessary stress upon yourself. This way, you can only be pleased by the results that you end up achieving. The gray hat strategy for YouTube ranking success. First off, let me just say that the reason it's called the gray hat is because there's a few different ways to go about it. Some of them are black hat, and some of them are white hat. The entire method here is just fine in regards to TOS on any video sharing or hosting platform, so there's no need to worry about that stuff. Now that you're sure of this, let's get right into it. In terms of creating a video, it doesn't matter what kind of video you upload to YouTube, this strategy will work for any video. Just make sure that your video is optimized in terms of production. That means you should have a clear call to action within the video, or something that encourages your viewers to take action in some way or another. This is, of course, dependent on the goal of your video. Let's say you have a video created and you've set up your YouTube channel so that the homepage is fully optimized. You should have an appropriate channel name, art, a description, connected social networks, and make it look like the channel is active, which it should be. Now, this is the important part. You have to do some relevant research for the optimization of your video. Let's assume you're uploading a video to YouTube as a part of your marketing strategy, which would be to gain views and oftentimes conversions. This would mean that you want the video to rank high in the search results and draw in unique visitors on autopilot. After all, that's one of the biggest benefits of video marketing as a whole when it comes to the internet. You're going to want to do some Google searches and YouTube searches for relevant keywords related to the topic of your video. This could be different variations of keywords or key phrases. You want to determine the amount of traffic that's possible for certain combinations and keywords on both of these platforms, since they're essentially intertwined. During your search, you want to take note of several elements of the searches. Is there a video ranking for the keyword or keywords on Google or YouTube page 1? How many views do the top ranking videos receive? What is the like to dislike and comment ratio of the video's ranking? Are the comments and interactions recent? How well optimized is the video for these keywords? Is it ranking naturally, or does it look like it has been up for a long time? Is the uploader of the video an established channel or not? All of these factors will help you determine if a keyword or set of keywords is worth your time. Overall, you just want to research and see if you can improve upon other campaigns or cash in on keywords that are wide open and have yet to have videos ranked for them. Now that you've done your research, you should have some keywords for the video that you plan to upload. When you upload the video, try to tie in the best keywords with the title. You should also include them naturally in the description. Do this by writing a short blurb about your video and place the keywords in there naturally. And also make use of the tags feature that YouTube offers to you. This is where you want to enter the most relevant keywords to your video and message. It's super important that you don't start keyword stuffing during any of this though. Keyword stuffing is when you mindlessly place tons of keywords all over your video's description, title, and tags. In reality, this not only hurts your rankings, but it looks bad as well. Stick to a small pool of very targeted keywords for each video that you upload. In some cases, you could create multiple generic videos with a call to action and maybe different art or styles and then upload them with this method. This is where some marketers may consider this process to be a bit gray hat or even black hat. After your video is uploaded and you've optimized the keywords in the title, description, tags, and so on, you're ready to start the next step towards ranking. If you want to go to the natural white hat route, which is highly recommended, then what you want to do is share the video on all of your social networks. Proceed to embed the video on a relevant page or section of your website. Create natural engagements and encourage your audience to share your video as well. Patience is the most important factor with this part. Don't be afraid to network and reach out to other YouTubers politely to ask if they can help you out with your videos. In time, the more social signals and natural backlinks that you receive towards your video, the higher it's going to rank. If you're creating valuable content, then it shouldn't be a problem to get websites and other networks and people to share your content with their own audiences or friends. If you want to go a somewhat black hat route, then you can start purchasing backlinks or running SEO campaigns and pointing them to your videos. Some of the best outlets for buying these sort of backlinks in bulk would be Fiverr or even SEO clerks. You can even buy or attract different social signals and point them at your video. This is a major hit or miss and can be extremely risky, so use it with caution on your campaigns. As a whole, this method will work well if you put your own spin on it and have a lot of patience. If you target the right keywords and keep creating valuable content, then your audience will expand and you'll see loads of traffic on autopilot. 6 overall methods for more YouTube views and traffic. YouTube has an excellent potential for creating awareness about a brand, goods, or services that a person offers. The challenge, however, is that there are thousands of videos existing on the platform and users keep on uploading more videos by the minute. Each of these users hopes to get views. So, how does one ensure his or her video is visible and attracting views or traffic? The following is just 6 tips for getting more views and traffic from YouTube. Conduct research for your video channel. The secret to attracting plenty of views to your video is first understanding the viewers. Doing so requires research to determine the purpose of the video, target audience, the content value the audience seeks, and where besides YouTube is the audience found. Armed with this information, you can brand your videos in a way that it appeals to your targeted masses. A relatively easy method of researching is by analyzing YouTube videos with the most views or shares. Create quality and timeless videos. When it comes to the web, content is king. People see the videos because they hope to get value in the form of knowledge, entertainment, or nourishment. For this reason, the content should be valuable, of good audio and video quality, non-discriminatory, and one that cuts across religion, race, or gender. It is amazing how many YouTubers upload videos that fail to meet such standards and wonder why their videos are not attracting views. Remember, the easiest way to get more views is when the video goes viral and everyone is sharing or tagging their friends. No one wants to share poor quality or boring videos. Write engaging and detailed video descriptions. When you upload a video on YouTube, neither Google nor YouTube can watch or even listen to it. Instead, they rely on the text a person used to describe the video to understand and even rank the video. Since Google uses the words in the video description to list it, it is only prudent for a person to provide a detailed description. After all, if you took your time to make the video and upload it, spending a few minutes writing its story won't hurt. Besides, with a better ranking, you get more views. Optimize your video keywords. Although it pays to have a good YouTube ranking, it is more rewarding if the classification extends to Google and search engine searches. It is obvious that many websites' traffic comes from search engines like Google, which create page rankings dependent mainly on the keywords used. Therefore, if you want more traffic to your video, consider using appropriate video keywords that will give your video an edge in the search engine result page. An easy way of identifying the video keywords is to discover the keywords used by other YouTube videos appearing on the first pages of the search engine, and then use those words in your video description. Capitalize on social media platforms. Social media platforms are useful tools for getting the message out to the masses. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Quora, WhatsApp, Instagram, Pinterest, and many others are worth utilizing. Post links to your video on those platforms and even proactively ask the online community to view, like, comment, and even share with their friends and relatives. However, be careful not to spam the social media accounts of other users. A novel idea is joining communities and forums dealing with issues your video addresses. To a member's question, offer valuable answers and post a link to your YouTube video that provides detailed information. Determine if there is a video ranking high on Google SERPs. As mentioned previously, a good indicator as to whether you can easily rank on page 1 of the Google search results if there's already a video up there or not. Furthermore, if there's a video ranking, how well optimized is it? Can you better optimize your video and boost its social signals? If so, you can easily outrank it. Closing words. In closing, you may have come into this not sure how you should approach YouTube or how you can implement it into your business. At this point, you should not only have a game plan in mind, but you should also have some idea as how to plan to market and drive traffic to your videos on this awesome platform. There's really not a ton to know about YouTube, aside from the basics of setting up your channel, connecting your networks, and creating content regularly. While this provides a basic overview of YouTube, there are tons of tips, tricks, and strategies you can use to get more out of it. You should also always make it a point to monitor your results and check out the increasingly thorough analytics that YouTube provides for you in your dashboard. This can help you determine where your traffic is coming from and how you might be able to scale up or even modify your current campaign or campaigns to benefit even further. To sum it all up, you should be focusing on the following: creating high-quality videos, uploading as regularly as possible, taking a systematic approach, doing basic SEO, sharing to social media, building a community, coming up with interesting topics and titles, networking, and forming partnerships. What you'll find as you do all this as well is that it can be highly rewarding in its own right. As soon as you add a well-made video to your homepage, your entire business will look more serious and professional, and you'll feel much more capable. The payoff here for marketing videos on YouTube is absolutely massive. So don't wait any longer. Jump in and get started with video marketing sooner rather than later. Trust me, you'll be thanking yourself for taking action.
Have you ever noticed that for most Google searches that you make, YouTube videos often appear in the top 10 results? This is because YouTube is owned by Google, and they favor their own family of websites first. But what does this mean for you? Well, if you're not uploading videos and marketing on YouTube, then you're missing out on a giant pool of traffic. YouTube is the second highest ranked social network, and it doubles as a search engine of sorts. Furthermore, it's estimated that almost 5 billion videos are watched daily on the platform. With all of those facts in mind, and all of the simple resources for creating videos, you need to be marketing on YouTube. That's why right now you can gain access on the YouTube Traffic Weapon training course for no cost at all. This course details exactly what you need to do to create high-converting videos, upload them to YouTube, and drive loads of targeted traffic on autopilot. That way, you can get started on the right foot and achieve massive marketing success on YouTube without wasting any of your time. All you have to do is take action right now. Just click the button below to gain instant access. Have you ever noticed that for most Google searches that you make, YouTube videos often appear in the top 10 results? This is because YouTube is owned by Google, and they favor their own family of websites first. But what does this mean for you? Well, if you're not uploading videos and marketing on YouTube, then you're missing out on a giant pool of traffic. YouTube is the second highest ranked social network, and it doubles as a search engine of sorts. Furthermore, it's estimated that almost 5 billion videos are watched daily on the platform. With all of those facts in mind, and all of the simple resources for creating videos, you need to be marketing on YouTube. That's why right now you can gain access on the YouTube Traffic Weapon training course for no cost at all. This course details exactly what you need to do to create high-converting videos, upload them to YouTube, and drive loads of targeted traffic on autopilot. That way, you can get started on the right foot and achieve massive marketing success on YouTube without wasting any of your time. All you have to do is take action right now. Just click the button below to gain instant access.
Hello and welcome. Now, you are now looking at Amazon Prime Video Direct. And Prime Video Direct is a platform designed to help content creators reach their targeted audience on the Amazon website. And while Amazon is known primarily for consumer goods as well as consumer video, you can also find targeted business content. For example, if you were to go to Amazon.com and you were to type in the words WordPress membership, as you can see, and then you click the search button, what you'd find at the very top in the first result is you'd see an Amazon Prime Video. So to introduce this concept, let's click inside of this result. What you'll notice is that an individual with a Prime account can watch the video for free, or an individual without the Prime account can watch the video with advertising. That person also has the opportunity to purchase the video. And the creator can add multiple videos to this title. And for their activity, those who create videos and upload them to Amazon are paid royalties for those who watch their videos. Now in this course, we will review the policy guidelines when it comes to content, because they'll be very important to your being able to upload titles that will be of interest while yet maintaining consistent production. So in the next video, we'll start the process by looking at the royalty information so that you can determine how you want to create videos and how consistently you want to maintain them on the Amazon Video Direct platform. We'll then walk through the account setup process. We'll then go over the minimum equipment necessary in order to start creating videos. We'll then very quickly determine whether or not there are titles in your chosen market or niche for information. We will then work through the content creation process. So with that, we're now ready to get started working with Amazon Video Direct. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to walk through a few tips that you can use when you are recording instructional style videos. In instructional style videos, you will be either narrating or you'll be discussing points as you scroll through your PowerPoint presentation or your presentation software. Now there are a couple of settings that you are going to want to be aware of. The first is you're going to want to be aware of the Design tab. And if you're not using PowerPoint, you'll want to find the equivalent in the software you're using. In PowerPoint, you will notice that there is a diagonal button here that says Slide Size. You will want to make sure that you are using the widescreen size, mainly because this is how most videos are going to fit well on the screen. Now the other thing that you're noticing that is invisible to the recording of this video is that the monitor being used to record this video is 1920 by 1080, which matches the widescreen size. Now if you have a monitor that is of a different size and you're not recording on that monitor, you are going to want to use one that's going to be either a custom size that'll be proportional to the monitor you're using, or one that's very close in size, whether it is 4 by 3 or 16 by 9. Now another thing that you're going to want to be aware of is the transitions screen. And transitions are going to be seen as you move from slide to slide, not within the slide, but between the slides. Now, you will typically want to have no transitions, mainly because this can be distracting for the individual and you want them to be focused on the information while you narrate. The next tab over is animations. Now, when you have animations, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to scroll through your points one at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our cursor inside of this slide. And what you'll notice is that when we set our animations, we need to place our cursor next to one of the lines, and then we'll need to decide what our animation is. For example, we can use any of these animations. In general, you want to try to keep your animation as unobtrusive as possible. So you don't want to have something that's going to be a distraction. Now in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use the float in animation. And you'll notice that these points float in one at a time. Now it's quite possible that you may not want your points to float in all together in one section. So for example, you'll notice that with line 1, you'll notice that there is a number 1. So this means that this will come one at a time. You'll notice that the number 2, though, coincides with both this point and 3 subpoints with it. And so how does that appear on screen? In order to illustrate that, we can just go to the slideshow, go to from the current slide, and we can see that all of these points go with the subpoints. And that may not be the way you want to do it. You may want to have it so that each subpoint comes one after the other. So if that's the case, we're going to hit the escape button. And what we're going to do is to go back to the animations. And we're going to place our cursor at the first subpoint. And when we do that, what you're going to notice is that we're going to go over to this Start tab, and we're going to use the tab that says On Click. When we click that, here's what you're going to notice. You're going to notice that the numbers have changed from 2, 2, 2, 2 to 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And that means then that 3 will come after 2, and they'll all come one at a time. So, for example, if we go back to the slideshow, and we click the current slide, and we tab through, what we're going to notice now is that our points come one at a time. So to go back to the screen now, we're going to hit the escape button to go back to the slide. Now, it's quite possible also that we may want to use notes with our presentation. And if that's the case, we can go to the view screen. We can then go to this view that says Notes page. What you're going to notice is that there are 2 parts of our presentation now. And we can write in our notes for this slide. So if we want to narrate the slide, or we want to be aware of something while we are talking through the points, we can write notes in this area. This can be especially handy if we are using this as a handout, or if we are using this in a presentation. And in the next video, we'll show you how notes written on this slide can help you when you're doing an actual presentation. So to that end, we're going to write in some text here. And so in the next video, we'll explore this, where we've gone to this slide for Amazon Video Direct royalties, and we've written in the text, paid monthly, 90 days, and 55%. And you'll see now how this will help us when we are creating instructional style videos and we're recording. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. We are picking it up in this video from the point at which we wrote in notes for our presentation while we're recording a video. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our normal screen by clicking this normal link. It takes us back to the normal PowerPoint presentation screen. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the slideshow tab. When we go to the slideshow tab, we want to make sure that this box is ticked, and that is Use Presenter View. That Use Presenter View is going to help us, especially if we have 2 monitors. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the slide that we're going to start narrating. And in this case, we're going to assume that this slide, the one Amazon Video Direct Royalties, is the one that we're going to be narrating in our actual video. So before we start the presentation, what we're going to do is we're going to click this button that says From Current Slide. And that actually starts the PowerPoint presentation from this slide at the very beginning. So we click this button. what you're going to notice is that we're ready to start scrolling through our points. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch between the view where we're recording, or we would be recording, and we're going to switch it to the presenter view that we just talked about. Now this presenter view is going to help us, especially if we have two screens. And you'll notice right here in the notes section that there are our notes. It's a paid monthly, 90 days, and 55%. So if we wanted to make sure that we mention these things during our presentation, they would be visible to us on our second screen. Now the other thing that we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to see what's going to come on our screen before it actually happens. So for example, the screen on the left side is the one that's going to be shown to the people that are going to be seeing the video. The screen on the right side will be the one that has the next click point of the mouse. So every time that we advance, what's going to happen is the slide that's showing on the video, it's going to advance, and then so will the presentation slide. And this will be on the right side of our second monitor. What we can do in this case is we can switch back and forth between the display settings, and then we're then showing our monitor view in order to do the video. We're going to go back to the presenter view for one more tip. When we come back to the presenter view, you're going to notice that there is a button that has 3 dots in it, and this will give us our other slideshow options. So for example, you'll see here that we can make our screen all black, or we can make it all white, or if we just want to end the show very easily, we can click this link. We can also click the very same link at the top. If we had a pen and we wanted to write on the screen for the audience, we could do that by clicking the pen tool. And you can see that here just by us being able to write in on top of the slide. Now this is very difficult to do in an orderly fashion, so you'll want to make sure that either you have a pen pad or you have a tablet where you have control over the pen, that you know how to make it look legible. Now in order to switch back, what we're going to do, I'm going to switch back to the presenter view so you can see how we're going to do this. All you'll need to do then is to go back to your pen, and then you're going to make sure that you erase the ink on all the slide, and then your slide goes back to normal. So now I'm going to switch back to our PowerPoint view. And those are some ways that you can have additional control over your PowerPoint presentation while you're recording the video, so that you can add to the variety that your viewers are seeing. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, when you're recording demonstration style videos and you are displaying what is on your screen for the people who are watching your video, there are a couple of things that you will want. One of the first things you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that you're using the highest resolution possible on the screen where you're going to be displaying your demo and a narration. So for example, you'll notice here that for this monitor where we're recording the video, the resolution is 1920 by 1080, which is considered to be HD. If possible, that's the resolution that you'll want to use, or at minimum, you'll want to use 1280 by 720. Now, when you are demonstrating content on the web, one distraction that routinely happens to video creators is they show the address bar, and sometimes they even show typing. If you can avoid doing that, one of the ways that you can accomplish this is to set up any tabs that you're going to open before you start recording. So for example, we're going to open up 5 tabs. So you'll notice that we have open Amazon, Google, Facebook, and YouTube. One of the ways that we can record this is we can record this by going to our browser and hitting the F11 key, which will take us to full screen mode. What that does is that eliminates the address bar, and you can demonstrate your screen without your viewer seeing it. And one of the other things that you can do while you're using this mode is you can switch back and forth between tabs by hitting the Control and the Tab key. And you can move between screens. Control then Tab. You move to the Google screen, Control then Tab. You can move to the next, which is the Facebook screen, Control then Tab, and we move back to the screen where we started. We can also tab through pages while we're in full screen mode. So for example, if we click a link and we go to some other pages, what we'll need to do now if we want to go backwards is we'll hit the Alt key and then we'll hit the left arrow, and that'll take us back one screen. We'll hit the Alt key and the left arrow, that'll take us back another screen. We'll click the Alt key and the left arrow, and that'll take us back to the very beginning. If we click the Alt key and then the right arrow key, that'll take us forward. We'll do it again, and that'll take us forward one more screen. If we want the address bar to appear again, we can click F11, and then our screen reflects the fact that the address bar is now visible. Now in the next video, we'll go through a few more tips that you'll need to record your demonstration style video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to take a look at the recording toolbar. And to do that, we're going to open up our recording bar. And you'll notice that this is an active bar. So in other words, this is reflecting what is being recorded right now for this video. Now, where you're going to want to look, going to be in this Tools menu, and you're going to want to do this before you start the video. We're going to click Tools, and you'll notice that the Options key is grayed out. Now, you're now looking at a screenshot of the Options tab. And what you're going to notice is that there is a section here for inputs, and there's a section here for hotkeys. You want to make sure that you know what's in the hotkey section. Now what you can do with these hotkeys is you can make it so that all you'll need to do is to hit a particular button when you want to affect some kind of major change while you're recording. And in particular, while you're doing the recording, you may often need to pause. Maybe you need to collect your thoughts. Maybe you need to change direction in the presentation. And you want to be able to do this in an easy to remember way. So you can set up your pause key, and the recording will stop while you collect your thoughts. And when you hit F9 again, the recording will start again. So you don't have to start all over again when you think you might have made a mistake. You can stop the recording by setting up your stop hotkey. Now these two keys in particular are important while you're doing demonstration style videos, because by using them you can record your videos in one take and edit them in one take, instead of starting them and then never quite finishing the video. Now lastly, you'll notice that the mouse is moving on this page. When you edit your video, you can edit so that this cursor will be highlighted. It can be highlighted in a magnifying glass, or it can be highlighted in yellow as it moves around the screen. And so while you are demonstrating, you'll want to be aware of what this cursor is doing in case you re-edit the video by showing the cursor either being highlighted or magnified. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. We are now looking at a video that's being edited inside of Camtasia 8. And regardless of your video editing software, you're going to have some decisions to make about editing. Now, one thing that we're going to do in the editing process is we're going to make sure that we edit in the highest resolution possible. And we're going to show you how to do this in Camtasia 8. You'll need to make sure that you can do the very same process inside of the video software that you own. Now the default settings in Camtasia when you start the final production process say 854 by 480. However, we want to make sure that this is going to be closest to our recording dimensions, which we should have done, if possible, at 1920 by 1080. So we want to make sure that we use those dimensions. Now, if possible, during the rendering process, we want to set our audio at the highest level that we can, and typically this is going to be right at 192 kbps. In some cases, your video editing software will give you the option of being able to put metadata inside of the video file. Now, we will not have to do this because we'll be doing this inside of Amazon Video Direct. So where you have the project information, the author information, and even the iTunes information, you'll want to make sure that you have this correct for the upload process. You don't have to have it for the final production. And finally, for your video section, typically the default settings for a software application like Camtasia or Screencast-O-Matic will be correct from the start. However, you can make sure that your frame rate is going to be as high as you can if you can produce it at 30 frames per second or 15. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, there are several instances inside of the screens where you're going to be uploading your videos where you are going to be required to upload some graphics for your videos. And you may want to have some of these graphics created. So this video is going to detail the graphics you're going to need for your account. So to create the necessary artwork, when you are creating episodes or episodic videos, you are going to need seasonal art. And those are going to require some specific aspects to the graphics. You're going to need a widescreen aspect. You're going to need a 1920 by 1080 photo to appear correctly, and it can be JPEG or PNG. Now, there is key art that you'll need to create that is also a 4:3 aspect ratio. That'll need to be 1600 by 1200, JPEG or PNG. And there is an optional file that you'll want to upload that's a 16:9 aspect ratio. It's 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG, and this is going to be a background image. It's only going to appear on the devices in order to convey mood. And you'll see the request for the three of these when you are uploading your image. You'll see one here in the key art area as well as the background image. Now, you can also include artwork for individual episodes. That episode will require a key art aspect ratio of 4:3. It'll need to be 1600 by 1200, and it'll be JPEG or PNG. And you'll see that request when you are uploading your individual episode video. Now, for the standalone videos, the key art will have a 16:9 aspect ratio. It'll need to be 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG. Now, you'll also have another key art piece. This time, though, it'll be 3:4 aspect ratio, so not 4:3. That means then that the art will be 1200 by 1600. And again, you want to pay attention to that. It's a little different than the other size. That'll also need to be JPEG or PNG. Now, there's also space for a background image, and it'll need to be 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG, and once again, it's going to be optional because it's only designed to convey mood on certain devices. And you'll see that here in the standalone upload section where the second key art piece is 3:4. Now, there's also a landing page that you're being given and you're going to be able to use along with your videos that will require you to have a logo. That logo will need to be 950 by 250. You'll need to use a PNG with a transparent background. You're also going to have a background image that will need to be 3000 by 600, as well as another background image which is 1920 by 720. So one question is, well, how will you create the designs? Now, what you can do is you can hire out the base design. You can hire those designs out on Fiverr or the Warrior Forum in the Warriors for Hire section. Now, when you do hire out these graphics, you want to make sure that you ask for the PSD file. In some cases, the designer may ask you for additional funds to do that, and it's actually going to be worth it for you to get those PSD files because you will then be able to adapt them and brand them for future designs when you do more videos. And you'll be able to keep a consistent design across all of your videos. Now, to do this, you are going to need some graphic editing skill, not a lot, but a minimal amount. And you'll need some kind of graphics editing application, something like Photoshop or an equivalent one. Now, another way for you to create the designs is to manipulate existing designs. You can use private label rights content where you have PSD files or graphics already, and you can change those designs to reflect your videos. If you have some kind of graphic design software or application, this will be fairly easy. What you'll need to do is you'll need to use the flat PSD graphic, and by using that graphic, you'll be able to manipulate the design for the different sizes. Of course, you can also use a design program like Canva where you can do the design yourself from scratch. And of course, you can always use a hybrid version of all of these methods. You're now looking at a flat graphic design from a private label rights product inside of Photoshop. And what we can do is we can go and open a new file. It's going to be one of the dimensions that we need. So for example, we would go to this file area. We're going to click New. We're then going to open up this new size, and we want this new size to be 1920 by 1080. We're going to click Create. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our flat design. We're first going to select all. We're going to then copy merged. Then we're going to go back to our new design, and then we're going to place that design and paste it in. Now this is a 1920 by 1080 image, and so we want this design to be able to fit what we're trying to do. Now, when you have a PSD file, you can manipulate the size of this file without losing the proportions of the graphics and the text on the design. So for example, what we can do is we can zoom out of this design, and then we can grab the handles and we can manipulate the design in order to fit our canvas. We can make sure that we keep the aspect ratio in Photoshop. And once we have our design the way we want, all we're going to do is we're then going to click this button. We're going to apply the design, and you'll notice then that it'll actually clear up. We can then save this design as a new file, and we can save it as a new file in the format that we want. So if we want to use JPEG or we want to use PNG, we can do that. So again, if you know how to manipulate a design here, and you can actually go into the title and you know how to change the title and some of the letters and maybe even one of the images, this is an easy way to take a professional design and turn it into one for your videos. And it also demonstrates the fact that when you get a PSD file from the designer, all you'll need to do then is know how to manipulate that design so that you can begin placing it on all of your videos. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, whether you're creating an episodic video or a standalone title, you will be required by Amazon in order to place captions along with your video. So in order to do that, you are going to need a transcription of your video. Amazon does give recommendations for video captioning service or video transcription. And Amazon has its own transcription service called Amazon Transcribe, where you have a free tier, 60 minutes per month for 12 months. You will actually get an hour's worth of free transcription. And then afterward, the transcription is a small amount per second. Now, in order to use Amazon Transcribe, you are going to need to have an Amazon S3 account. And so if you have a file that's stored in Amazon S3, you'll be able to use that file along with Amazon Transcribe. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now, this video, we are going to walk through the process of uploading a standalone video. So to do that, you're going to click Your Videos. What you're going to do then is you're going to add your standalone title, and you're going to write in a title, pick a category, and then select the language that you want your metadata to be in. Once you do that, you'll then click Continue. Now you'll then want to write in your synopsis. Now, you want to make sure that this synopsis does not have self-promotional details. You aren't going to be able to put URLs in here, so you do want this to reflect what your title is going to be about. Once you've done that, you're then going to click the category or genre, and when you click inside of the area, you're going to notice that there's going to be a drop-down menu, and you're going to be able to find the exact category that Amazon Video Direct wants you to place. You'll then choose your language, and then you'll choose a release date. You'll then want to choose a rating, and in some cases you are not going to have a rating for your title. If that's the case, you're going to click suggested rating, is that the title is not officially rated. And you can then make your title available for all audiences. You're then going to upload the art that you created. Now, if you already have an Amazon S3 account and you have that artwork loaded on Amazon S3, you can copy the file from your Amazon S3 account over into Amazon Video Direct. However, if your file is on your hard drive, you can upload that file by clicking the Browse button. Once you have everything on the page that you want, you'll then click Save. So once you've saved this page, you'll then want to move to the cast and crew page. You'll want to write in the name of the creator as well as your crew member. Now, Amazon Video Direct is going to require that you have at least one crew member, and what you're going to do is you're going to write in the role of that individual. And then if you don't want to have a cast member, you can leave this out. Once you have all this information ready, you can then click Save. You'll then move to your video asset section. And what you'll be doing then is you'll be uploading your file, your captions, and if you have a trailer, you can upload that trailer to this area. And once you have the necessary content, you can then click Save. So once you've uploaded your content, one thing you'll want to note is that in order to get your transcribed file to go along with the file that you're uploading with your video, it will need to be an SRT file or one of the formats outlined by Amazon. We'll now go to the Availability tab, and we'll choose where we want the content to be made available. We'll click all of the applicable places where we want it to be available. We'll determine how we want it to be streamed. And once we've done all that, we'll then click Save. And once you have uploaded and you have completed all of your titles, you will then be ready to publish your video for viewing on Amazon Video Direct. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to produce an episodic video title. So to get started, we're going to click Your Videos. We're then going to click Episodic. We're then going to click Add Series. And we're going to give our series a title and synopsis. We will then pick a category. And then we'll pick our metadata language and click Continue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create our listing for the actual season, and we'll need to write in another synopsis for the season. We'll then click our genres. We'll then choose our language, and where it's applicable, we'll write in the original release year. Now again, you don't have to add a rating, but if you want to do it that way, you want to click Suggested Rating, Title Not Officially Rated, and then make it available for all ages. You'll then upload your graphics according to the right dimensions. And once you have your seasonal information in, you'll then click Save. We'll then move on to the creator. Remember, you are going to need to make sure that you have at least one crew member mentioned. Now, if you really don't have a cast member, you don't have to place one there. You can then click Save. You'll then be able to move on to individual episodes, and you'll start by adding a new episode. And of course, each individual episode will have its own title, release date, synopsis, the video file, the captions file, and an optional art file. Now, once you upload episodes, what you'll need to do is you'll need to select the language, the frame rate, and then the language for the captions. Again, you'll want to make sure your transcription is going to be an SRT file, and then you'll click Save. Amazon Video Direct will start the upload process for your video. You then want to go to your Availability tab. You want to make it available in the locations where you want it to be seen. And again, you can determine either base pricing or value pricing. Again, that's based on your preference. And once you've done that, you'll then click Save. And once you've completed all 4 sections, you are then ready to publish your video so that others can begin to watch on Amazon Video Direct. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, Amazon will give you the ability to customize your landing page for your videos. And so you can do that by clicking Landing Page. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to write in the name that you want to display to your customers. And you'll want to write in your custom URL. So you'll notice that the custom URL will start with amazon.com/v. What you'll do is you'll write in what you want to appear after the URL. Once you've uploaded all your logos according to the dimensions that Amazon gives you, you're going to take note of how it's going to appear on the actual branding. Now, we've uploaded some dummy images, but you'll notice that the logo appears right in the middle of this preview, and then it appears right in the middle of this web preview, and then your background images appear in these areas. And so you'll want to take note of this and adjust your logos accordingly. Now, one of the things that you'll note is that the partner name went away when there was no preview. So now, once you have your landing page looking the way you'd like it to look with the information that you have there, you're then going to click Feature Enabled, and then you'll click Save. Now, in this case, you'll note that Amazon is giving you an error message that says that your landing page is unavailable, mainly because you need to make sure that you've got 2 published titles before you can launch your landing page. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. You are now looking at the inside of Amazon Prime Video Direct, and you'll notice that if you go to the support link, that you'll pull open a side menu here. You're going to then click Get Started, and then you'll want to click on Royalty Information, and you're going to see a schedule of information here. And so now we'll discuss royalties and compensation. Now, you are going to be paid monthly based on a number of different activities altogether. First, you're going to be paid video purchases and rentals. It happens you'll be paid 50% of the net revenues of purchases and rentals. Now, customers can buy episodes or seasons, and then any episodes that they purchase, if they decide to purchase a season later, it'll count toward their actual purchase. They'll get the entire season at a discount. And if you go to Prime Video and you type in a title that you're likely to find, for example, we typed in WordPress, you'll see the different classifications here. You'll see that someone can watch an episode, they can buy the entire season, or they can watch an episode free with ads, or they can buy outright. And the main way you're going to generate revenue is going to be the number of people who are watching your videos. And some of those views are going to be included with people who have subscriptions to Amazon Prime. And there are going to be different tiers of activity based on the aggregate hours streamed. So, for example, every year Amazon will determine how many hours people are streaming your videos, and that'll put you on a certain tier to be paid more or less. So, for example, the more hours that people are streaming your videos, the higher your rate of pay, and you'll see that in the schedule. Now, once your tier is determined, then you'll be paid based on the number of hours actually streamed. So you'll have a tier, And then you'll have streaming that will take place. And again, the higher your tier, the higher the rate of pay. You're also going to be paid 55% of the net advertising revenue of individuals who've chosen to watch videos free but to have ads associated with them. You'll also be paid 55% of net monthly revenues of individuals who are watching your videos through Amazon channels. When that happens, payments are going to be issued 90 days after the end of the month after the activity occurs. And payments are going to be made by the bank account that you've already set up unless you choose to have payments wire transferred. And when you have wire transfers, you are going to have a certain dollar threshold to meet before you can be paid. And you can look at the details of the threshold as well as the tiers and Prime streaming in the royalty information section of your support area. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. In conclusion, you need to remember that Amazon does not want your video to be a promotional video. It means that you don't want the video to be something that will be sending people to landing pages inside of the actual video itself. In addition to that, in the descriptions and in the titles, those are not typically supposed to be promotional either. So there are other promotional methods, but you don't want to have this as part of the video or the description. Amazon does give you a landing page for your videos. So this is one of the promotional elements that Amazon does give you. And remember that you do get an amazon.com/V and any name that you designate. So even if right now you're not necessarily ready to create videos, one of the things you want to do is you want to go in and set up your account so that you can claim your name quickly. So currently, Amazon does not connect Kindle with Video Direct. However, you will see similar subject matter appearing together on the page. So one of the things that you can test is if you have something in Kindle, you want to keep it very similar to something that you have in Amazon Video Direct to trigger suggestions for the actual customer. And one important thing to note is that Amazon does allow licensed content. That means that you do not have to originate the content. And it means that you can also use private label rights content. Now, that is said with caution. You can get a bad reputation in your reviews if your content is not considered to be robust enough for the customers. And you'll see the answer to this question in a recent inquiry to Amazon Video Direct. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you either in another video or in another course. When you're inside of your account, what you're going to do first is you're going to come up to the drop-down arrow. You're going to set up your new account. You're going to be brought to the digital license agreement. You want to read through this license agreement. Once you've done that, you're going to come all the way to the bottom and then click Agree. You're then going to want to set up your administrator profile. And you can set up a second administrator who can serve as a backup. Once you've done that, you'll click Save and Continue. Amazon will then have you set up a bank account in order to set up your account. Once you enter in the information, you can then click Save. You can also add in a second bank account if that is what you prefer. You'll then be asked to create tax information, so you'll need to click this link. And once your tax information is validated, you'll then click Exit Interview. Once you've done that, your account will then be set up and you are ready then to begin uploading videos. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, if you started the process with Prime Video Direct, you've probably already set up a brand, you've probably already set up a bank account. Now, there's quite possible that you may want to work with an individual that you want to have assist you with your account. However, you don't want them to have all information on all of your videos. And if that's the case, you can go to the top menu here, and a little bit of this is blurred out, but you're going to go to this drop-down menu, and then you're going to click Create Another Account. What you're going to notice right away is that this is the same license agreement that you agreed to when you set up your account initially. And what you can do then is then agree to this once more for the new account. Now, the individual that's going to be set up with this account is going to be the administrator, or you are going to administrate the account also. And you'll notice here that you're going to have to go through this same process: setting up the business account, setting up your payments, and then submitting your tax information. And what this does is it allows you to set up different information for videos that you're going to be creating under a different address and different company profile. And this separate brand will have its own dashboard, its own videos, own landing pages, and everything separate. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. If you go inside of your account settings, you'll notice that you have yourself as an administrator, and you may have someone that you invited. You can invite other individuals in order to help you manage the account. In order to do that, you're going to click Invite Users. You're going to write in the individual's name and email address. And once you've entered that individual's name, you're going to select a role for them. Now you can make for them a custom role, you can make for them an administrator role, or you can make it so they can look at your account only. Now for the sake of this video, we're going to choose a custom role. And then we're going to determine what we want them to see. And in this case, we're giving the individual access to the ability to add, modify, and publish video titles so that they can help us to manage the account. We're not going to give them access to sales reports. We're not going to give them access to the ability to add new users. We're not going to give them access to any banking information. Once we have all that, where we want to determine how the individual is going to interact with the account, we're then going to click Send Invite. Then that individual will reflect an invite pending. Now the individual is going to get an email asking them to click a link to accept your invitation. They'll then click this link. Now if the individual does not have an Amazon account, they'll need to create one, or they can use their existing Amazon account. Then the person that you added will then have access to your Prime Video Direct account. And if you refresh your page or hit F5, you should see that the individual is then part of your account. You can always go in and edit their custom settings. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. In this video, we want to discuss some of the equipment you're going to need in order to create videos. Now, obviously, you can create them as elaborately as you want. However, if you're creating them for your business, you do have a minimum level of equipment you're going to need, and that's what we're going to cover in this session. Now, assuming that you already have a computer and or a smartphone, you are going to need a way of being able to capture audio. And typically, you're going to need some kind of noise canceling headset or microphone. And you can get one like the one that's pictured, the Plantronics Audio 355. It goes into most PCs and Macs. Now, even though the Plantronics is noise canceling, you are going to need something like a pop filter or something to capture the noise and wind. And you can do that very easily with some kind of windscreen, which you can get inside of a site like Amazon. Now, it's quite possible that your laptop will not have jacks for an audio headset. They may have a USB port, and if that's the case, you can buy an adapter for your stereo jacks so that they can go into your laptop. And one of the things that will make recording your videos much easier is to have a second and or third monitor. And you can get travel versions of the monitor in 1080 or high definition by looking for a travel monitor with 1080p. Now you'll need to be careful when you're looking at these monitors because most of them don't come in high definition, and you'll need that in order to record your video properly. So make sure that you're looking for one with high definition and that it actually travels with you wherever you go. If you're recording yourself or you're recording some kind of activity, you'll be able to use an external webcam that does not depend on the resources of your personal computer. And you can get one in the Logitech C930E. Of course, you can get something that's a lot more elaborate than this, but this is a very easy and affordable choice in terms of a webcam. Now, the webcam that we just mentioned it actually adjusts to the lighting. However, in most cases, you are going to need to be able to throw some kind of light on your subject, even if it is you. And you can do that very easily and affordably by getting a number of what's called a clamp lamp to place around your recording area. If you need to soften the light that comes from the clamp lamp, you can do that with a pair of white hosiery. In order to neutralize your background, you can do this very easily and affordably with what's called a shoji screen. And once again, this is according to preference, but this is a very neutral background that anyone can use in order to take away the unprofessional look from their background. And if pricing is an issue to find these items, you can use a meta search for both eBay and Craigslist. Depending on where you live in the world, you can type in your search phrase to searchtempest.com or all of Craigslist. Now, you are going to need some kind of recording and capturing software to run on your Mac or PC. You can find one of the most commonly used applications in TechSmith Camtasia. Now, because TechSmith Camtasia runs over $200, you'll be able to pick up a screen capture and editing program for much less than that if you choose to use Screencast-O-Matic, which again does all of the functions in terms of capturing video, capturing your screen, and giving you the opportunity to edit your content. If you're going to give your presentation while you're creating your videos, you're likely to use a free application on Google, such as Google Docs or Google Slides, or of course you can use Microsoft Office and PowerPoint. Now, if you're already a user of a webinar application, you can use this feature to record your videos even though you do not have features to edit the videos in sites like GoToWebinar. There's similar paid applications such as Zoom and free applications that you can record your screen such as Google Hangouts. Now, in combining all of these elements, you'll be able to put together a reasonably priced system that will help you to get started until you reach the point where you want to invest more in your video creation system. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to go through a simple process of determining some niche topics that you can think about for creating your videos. Now, if you go to google.com and you were to go to the search bar and you were to type in your area of expertise and then wait for Google Suggest to give you options, you'll see some of the most recent searches. For example, in this particular case, if we were to go to Google and we typed in WordPress membership, we would see at least 10 different options for us to start looking and do more searching if we were going to stay on Google. And of course, we would do the very same thing in YouTube. Now, in some cases, these searches will yield the same results. In other cases, there will be some overlap. In other cases, they will be totally different. What you want to do when you have determined some of the search terms that you want to start looking for, you want to go inside of Amazon Prime Video Direct. But we're going to do this a little differently. We're going to put in our search term. When we put in that search, what you're going to notice is you're going to notice some Kindle book activity. You'll see some physical copies of information. And then at the very bottom, you'll also see that there is a listing here for Amazon Video Direct. You'll see some other activity for Amazon Video Direct. And so what you will begin to see is whether or not there is going to be room for you to place your video content on a specific search. And of course, we can find other Google starter search terms by using sites like Google Trends. So basically what we're doing is we're leveraging Google to find out what has been recently searched, and then we're working inside of the Amazon site to determine whether or not we can place content in those particular searches. And very often you'll see that depending on what your subject area is, your content may be all that will be in a specific classification. Now, in some cases, if you do a search in association with Amazon Kindle, you will find some video associated with your subject. Although currently this is not typically the case, there are going to be times where you'll see video as a recommended item. For example, Amazon will show an individual feature recommendations based on their browsing history. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now you're looking at the inside of a video inside of Amazon Video Direct. And you'll notice that this is a video all by itself and that there are no seasons attached to it. This is one of the ways that you can create content for Amazon Video Direct. You can create a video as what's called a standalone video. And so we'll briefly discuss standalone titles. There are three primary ways to publish in Amazon Video Direct. You can publish as a standalone title, as we've just seen. You can publish as a series, and you can publish as a channel. Now, the standalone title is, as it says, it's one volume or one video. And typically, if you think of it in terms of a featured movie that you might see at a theater, that is a standalone. It doesn't require you to see anything before or after it to get the maximum benefit or enjoyment from the video. So you can create a video with the intention that it would be viewed as one unit, and so that people would not have to see anything else to get the maximum benefit. And if you were communicating one idea or one event, this would be how you would use the standalone title. Now here's something that will be mentioned later and is important to note. You want to keep your audience in mind when you create video, in particular a standalone title. You will have viewers rating your video, and that will really determine how others see you. So you don't want to do it without thought. You don't want to leave a standalone title available on your account if it's not the best way to communicate the information that you're trying to get across. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the other ways to arrange your content will be in terms of episodes and seasons. As you can see here in this particular title, you can see that there are 10 seasons, and you can get access to them inside of Amazon. There are also episodes inside of each season. So if we change this season to a particular one, all the episodes then change. This gives you the opportunity to do a different kind of information video while arranging it all under one title. Now you can also arrange your content by channel. And as you can see here, there are a number of companies that already have channels where they have all of their content. Now there are some specific parameters, and we will go over that right now. So in this session, we'll discuss episodes and channels. So in addition to creating a standalone title, you can also create what's called an episodic title. And in this case, a title can have multiple episodes, which is also a series, or multiple seasons, as you can see. And since you're more likely to be communicating business information, you can think in terms of having one title with different subjects or episodes and different volumes or updates, even though they will be called series and episodes. So what you have here when you're using the episodes and seasons is you have more latitude over the process when you use episodes. Now, when you're creating your content, you're branding your graphics, you want to think of this in terms of how you're going to actually arrange your series when you place it in Amazon Video Direct. Now, with respect to channels, they are available when you have a minimum of 200 standalone titles or 50 seasons available for a minimum of 18 months. That's quite a bit of content, but it may be something that you want to build toward. Now, once these titles are included as a channel, though, they can no longer be included as Prime Video. So one thing you can think about as you begin creating content is creating titles with eventually having a channel for your content. Now, currently, as the program is fairly new, there aren't that many information and business-based channels available on Amazon Video Direct. So there's plenty of room for you to create your content. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.